Brianna Casey says the housing crisis and the rising cost of housing itself is at the heart of the problem.
I think what is going to surprise a lot of people is the true reality of what's happening with the housing crisis in Australia. We know that half of all renters and a third of all mortgage holders are now struggling to put a meal on the table. It is a situation that's become a crisis in Australia. And when we are looking at the cost of living crisis, this is no longer about the cost of living. This is the cost of surviving.
Foodbank reports that more than half of food insecure households have someone in paid work, 60%. And those experiencing food insecurity for the first time are younger, with mid to higher incomes.
It's the mums and dads who are going home at the end of the day saying they've had a big lunch at work and they don't need dinner because there isn't enough food to feed themselves and their children. It's the university students who are going entire days without eating. It's the elderly who suddenly think that it's okay to have one meal a day.
I mean, it's unbelievable that this is happening in such a wealthy country. It really takes, some pretty amazingly bad management from our politicians and from our bureaucrats, especially our bureaucrats, to get a country like Australia, a country as rich as Australia, into such a ridiculous situation. Now, once again, it seems to me that big government is the problem, with red tape and green tape getting in the road of property developers who want to get stuck into building new homes. It's some of the less ethical big businesses, perhaps, who like the housing supply shortage because it pushes up prices, although there's no money really to be made if no one can afford what you're selling. We need to let small and medium-sized businesses do their thing, to get the areas around train stations and public transport hubs cleared for small-scale, well-designed apartment projects. And we need to get things happening fast if we're going to continue with these massive levels of immigration. We really need to get more of the solution creating power into the hands of everyday Aussies in small business and in the not-for-profits to fix these problems.